Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who work the hardest, put in the longest hours, and give everything they've got are often the ones who earn the least. You know the type. The nurse working double shifts, the engineer fixing last-minute problems, the delivery driver hustling through rain and heat. Yet their paychecks rarely reflect their effort. Meanwhile, some others, with connections or strategy, seem to climb higher with less sweat. Why is that? Why does hard work so often feel like a trap? Today, we're diving deep into this puzzle, and the answer takes us all the way to the mind of Friedrich Nietzsche, a philosopher who shook the way we think about work, value, and morality. You were probably raised to believe in the value of hard work. Maybe your parents told you, if you work hard, good things will happen. Your teachers, cartoons, and stories all echoed the same message: effort equals reward. That belief is powerful. It gives us hope. It helps us keep going even when things get tough. But what if that belief is actually a lie? What if the idea that hard work always pays off is part of a bigger story designed to keep people like you quiet, compliant, and working without really changing their lives? Psychologists call this the just world fallacy. It's the comforting thought that the world is fair, that good people get good things, and hard work leads to success. It feels true because we want the world to make sense. But here's the catch. It's not how the world really works. Imagine two workers at a company. One is the tireless problem solver, staying late every night, fixing glitches nobody else sees. The other is the smooth talker, making friends with managers, mastering office politics. Guess which one gets the promotion? Often, it's not the hardest worker. It's the one who understands the game, who uses strategy, builds alliances, and plays power well. Nietzsche called this moral labor. The idea that being good, obedient, and hardworking is its own reward. But in reality, this moral labor can be a trap. It keeps people locked in place, working hard but powerless. The question isn't just why work hard, it's who benefits when you do. In this video, we'll unpack why hard work alone isn't enough. We'll explore how the system rewards power over virtue, how you can stop being just a worker in the game, and how to become the author of your own success. So, if you're ready to rethink everything you've been told about work, fairness, and success, keep watching. Let's get into it. Warm, conversational tone. All right, so let's talk about Nietzsche, a guy who wasn't afraid to challenge the most accepted ideas of his time, and maybe ours too. He saw something very important about hard work. Most people think it's just a neutral fact. You work, you get paid. But Nietzsche believed that the story we tell ourselves about hard work isn't just true or false. It's designed to control us. Explain slave morality simply. Nietzsche talked about what he called slave morality. Imagine two kinds of people: the masters, who have power, wealth, and influence, and the slaves, who don't. The masters live by their own rules, creating their own values. They value strength, creativity, and freedom. The slaves? They're told to value obedience, humility, and hard work. Why? Because these values keep the slaves working and accepting their place. Connect slave morality to hard work. So when we're told, work hard and you'll be rewarded, that's part of slave morality. It's a story that says, if you're obedient and hardworking, you're a good person. If you're poor or stuck, it's because you didn't try hard enough. Sounds harsh, but it keeps people focused on trying harder instead of questioning the system itself. Explain how hard work became a moral badge. Hard work became a moral badge, proof that you're a good person. It makes suffering noble. It justifies long hours and sacrifice. But here's the problem. This badge doesn't guarantee success. Sometimes working harder just means more exhaustion. Sometimes the system is rigged, so the rules don't apply equally. Use a simple example. Think of a factory worker versus the factory owner. The worker labors for hours, sweating and sacrificing. The owner spends money, makes deals, and reaps the profits. The worker is praised for being hardworking, but the owner controls the game. Introduce Nietzsche's call for a new value system. Nietzsche wanted us to break free from these old moral chains. He believed we should create our own values based on strength, creativity, and self-mastery, not obedience and sacrifice. He called this becoming the Übermensch, the overman, or the one who masters himself and the world around him. So, what does that mean for you sitting here today? How do you stop being trapped by the lie of moral labor and start working smarter, or differently, to create real value for yourself? We'll get to that soon. But first, let's look at how society rewards not effort, but power, and why that matters. All right, now that we've seen how the idea of hard work can trap us in a moral story, let's get real about what actually gets rewarded in life and work. Spoiler alert, it's not just effort. In reality, society rewards power, the ability to influence, control, or change things, far more than it rewards just working hard. Power can come from money connections, knowledge, creativity, strategy. When you have power, hard work becomes easier. You can delegate, automate, or make smarter choices that multiply your results. Think about a popular YouTuber or entrepreneur. They don't just work hard, they work strategically. They build audiences, partnerships, and systems that create income streams without constant hard labor. Meanwhile, someone stuck in a low-wage job might work twice as many hours and still struggle to get ahead. This happens because the system favors people who understand the rules of the game, how to build power and influence. Hard work alone won't change the game if you don't play it. So, what if instead of just hard work, the key is smart work? Smart work means knowing where to focus your energy, learning skills that multiply your impact, building relationships that open doors, finding ways to create value, not just trade time for money. This is where Nietzsche's idea of mastering yourself comes in. The Übermensch doesn't just accept the rules, they create new ones. They refuse to be trapped by old stories like work hard and suffer. Instead, they find ways to transform their situation by working smarter, thinking bigger. Ask yourself, are you stuck in a cycle of hard work that leads nowhere? Are you focusing on what really moves the needle in your life? What rules are you accepting without question? So, if working harder isn't the ultimate answer, how do we get ahead? How do you move from endless effort to smart, effective action? Let's talk about 3 key shifts you can make starting today. First, stop measuring your worth by how many hours you put in. More hours doesn't always mean better results. Instead, focus on impact. Ask, what tasks actually move me closer to my goals? Which activities create the most value for me or others? Cut out busy work and focus on what matters. Second, invest in skills that increase your value exponentially. Think skills like communication negotiation, creative problem-solving, technology mastery. These help you leverage your time and open new doors. Third, nobody succeeds alone. Build a network of people who can help, support, and challenge you. Create systems, like automation or delegating tasks, to free your time. None of these changes happen overnight, but starting small makes a difference. Pick one shift and commit to it this week. Remember Nietzsche's Übermensch? They don't just accept life's challenges, they shape their destiny by mastering themselves and the world around them. You can do that too. Next, we'll talk about the mindset that will keep you moving forward, even when hard work feels like the only option. Here's the truth. The system wants you to stay a worker, obedient, exhausted, replaceable. But you're not just a worker. You're a creator, a thinker, a strategist. And once you start seeing yourself that way, everything changes. Workers ask, what task should I do next? Creators ask, what problem should I solve? What value can I create? How can I change the game? It's a shift from doing to designing, from following orders to building your own path. Nietzsche believed in the will to power, the human drive to rise above and shape life itself. Not just survive, but create meaning. You're not meant to live on autopilot. You're meant to will your life into existence. So what does this look like in real life? You stop trying to impress bosses and start building your own platform. You stop grinding for pennies and start building assets. You stop chasing praise and start chasing freedom. It's not easy. You'll feel resistance. People will tell you to stay in your lane. But comfort is the enemy of growth. And those who break free? They don't just work differently, they live differently. Hard work isn't a scam because effort is bad. It's a scam when it's used to keep you small, to make you believe that hustle equals worth. The real secret? Work with strategy, act with intention, live with vision. Because your life is too short to trade it for someone else's dream. If this message hits you, don't just move on. Start questioning what you're working for. Start designing the life you want. Start working not harder, but wiser. And if you want more philosophy-backed wisdom like this, make sure to subscribe, because we're just getting started. This is more than a video. It's a wake-up call. Because when you stop believing the lie, that's when you start building a life worth living. See you in the next one.